welcome to the August 8th episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Let me go and get everything synced in here so I can actually read the comments, and we'll get this thing started. Let me see here. There's a little thumbs up for myself. Oh, there's a little PSA. And we'll share it out on Facebook. Okay, there we go. As soon as it spins the other direction, we'll share it out on Facebook. On Facebook. Good morning, Santee. Good morning, Jan. Good to see you guys. Yep, 1 week closer, dear. 1 week closer. It's another Monday. What can we say? How'd the shooting go yesterday, Santee? Sorry I missed you. My phone is still not turned on. So once we left the motel yesterday morning, I didn't have any service again until almost 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon when we got back home. It was about a 3.5 hour drive or so. But yeah, that's the reason I tried to get a hold of you yesterday at the hotel before we left, because I knew I wouldn't have service the rest of the day. So, yep, they're going to come up here for Ghostorama. We're going to do an investigation together. Just hang out. Actually, just kind of chill face to face. Good morning, Buck. Good to see you, bud. Historic Train Depot. Okay. Very cool. Bet that was interesting in itself. I'm sure a lot of characters through history, good and bad, rode through that depot at one time or another. Oh yeah, getting closer. We are 12 days away. 12 days away. Sadly, last night when we got home, the casino called, and Steph she put in the request for the 20th and 21st off so we could all hang out together. And they said, or her boss said that several people had put in for those 2 days off, and she was one of the last ones to do it. So she probably had a better chance of giving up the ghost before then to get those days off. So my wife will not be at Ghostorama this year, which really upsets her. But the girls will be. Good morning, Derek. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, Santee, is if that was the depot where Frank Stillwell was shot. So I'm glad you said something. Turned his chest into a screen door, yeah. Everyone, hello, just saying hi. Try to catch you when I take a break at work. All right, Templar. Yep, don't get caught watching YouTube when you're at work. They have a tendency of not liking that very much. Yeah, but she'll still have the evenings off and stuff like that. So y'all will get a chance to spend a little bit of time with her. I mean, she's still out of there by 3 o'clock, but and who knows? I may have her I may have her just go ahead and take a change of clothes to work with her. Um, uh, on the 20th. That way, when she gets off work, she can come straight up to Paw Paw. It's not that far of a drive, really. So I'll talk to her before then. But, hey, Brooklyn, good to see you. Lost your YouTube. Wow. I was wondering why I hadn't seen you on in a while. I just thought maybe you were busy. Ghostorama is actually going to be at a playhouse they're putting together. These people bought an old church in Paw Paw, Michigan, and they're turning it into a playhouse. The church is over 100 years old, so very interesting place. Paw Paw itself has a lot of history. Um, the Prospect Hill Cemetery is there, which is probably one of the biggest, most eeriest, scariest cemeteries I've ever done. Um, that's the one I always talk about that the mother-in-law tried to charge up the hill like, you know, cussed her into the little bighorn and like a minute later come down that hill, went right past us, got in the car. So very, very eerie place. But the Ghostorama is actually going to be at that church that they now call the Paw Paw Playhouse. So let's see here. Put the wrong password on Google. They locked me out of Gmail and YouTube. Oh God. I've been good. I've been good. Yeah, still paying for the blood clot and stuff like that. All the walking and standing, and I got the long trip down to see my family on Saturday, and then the long trip yesterday back home had me gimping around like I have one leg shorter than the other. But it's it's just part of getting a blood clot. I mean, you just got to baby it and, walk while you can and don't push yourself or you're going to push yourself straight down on the ground. How's things out there in New York? Good morning, Tony. Good to see you, bud. Oh, pot. I was just talking to a buddy of mine over in England a little while ago, and he's planning on coming back out in April. And I told him, I said, April's not bad. Sometimes it's starting to get warm. Sometimes we still have snow on the ground. I said, but after the summer they've had over in the UK, he's probably ready for some cold temperatures. They have been hotter in the UK this year than we've been here in the Great Lakes region. There was a few days England and Scotland seen over 100 degrees, and we've been in the mid 90s, but our humidity has just been off the scale. The other day it was 87 degrees with a heat index of 102. But he said that's fine with him. He actually would probably welcome a little snow right now. He hates snow. He hates snow with a passion. But yeah, I've been wondering about New York. We've had quite a few people from New York that have just up and vanished that used to come in here, and that used to be all of my news sourcing uh, out of uh, out of New York City, so I knew what was going on and stuff. Let's see here. Hey, Sonny, good to see you. But, had a good weekend with family. Took some pictures, took a little video. I'll be putting that stuff up probably Wednesday. I've already got the video done for today. I just have to upload it. Actually done it on Friday when I didn't have much else going on. I'm gonna test every day this week. Dear God, they're gonna work you to death, girl. If you don't mind, Jan. If you don't mind, because I got no other way there. Mark won't be there. He'll be up Mid-Michigan Civil War event that weekend. Yeah. Wednesday, at the beginning of the video that I just mentioned with my family in it, there will be a small amount of a bitch session. I finally got to the bottom of what happened to Midwest Parahistoric Society and what happened to everybody breaking away. Stuff like that. MPS is no more. MPS is no more. I have completely dissolved that group. Changing the name. I think it's probably going to be me and Mark and occasionally Danny, or me and Danny and occasionally Mark, or however the cards fall for investigations for a while. I'm a little disrupted by it. My normal flow is kind of how is it my son put it? The flow of my creek has been altered. So, but you guys will hear all about that. I've actually got a new name already. I've already made up all of the new cards for my videos and everything. I have to get new business cards made up, but Midwest non-asshole paranormal, which is going to be part of the bitch session on Wednesday. Apparently people out there in the paranormal field believe we fake half of what we put on film. And they seem to think I have a computer that I edit from where I can do a bunch of really cool effects and stuff like that. And people just apparently just can't get it through their head that I do all of my filming, all of my editing, and all of my uploading on a phone. I don't have all those really cool effects and stuff because there's no room on my phone to store them cool effects and stuff like that. But, it also comes down to the point where when people make these accusations, just to continue to be popular, the people they make them to don't argue with them or explain to them, no, this is what's happening, this, they just, well, I don't know, maybe I don't need to be associated with that anymore because the people are going to think he's fake, the people are going to think I am too, and But it also comes down a lot to, you know, when people come in the group, everybody knows that I live in a central location. We're either going to do events to the south or we're going to do events to the north. If we're doing events to the north, it's not out of someone's way in the south to drive by, pick me up, and go north, seeing as how I can't drive anymore. My wife actually, at the request of my doctor, bought me an eye patch um, Saturday. So anytime I'm in bright light now, to keep from looking like I'm looking through water, I have to wear the eye patch on my right eye. Um, and but you know, when we're doing investigations in the south, it's not out of someone's way from the north to come by, pick me up, and go. And you know, a lot of people feel like, oh well, we come and pick him up, but he never offers us any gas money. But yet they know I have no income, therefore I have no gas money to offer. You know, the couple times that I have had money, I have offered to help with gas. But I can't do it every single time because there is no income coming in. And people started whining because I wasn't helping with gas, even though they're not using any extra gas to come and get me. And they started off offering to come and get me. Then they started bitching because I couldn't pay for their gas or their food or whatever the case may be. So that's pretty much the gist. That's why I dissolved the group. There's not going to be another group. It's just going to be us going off and doing our thing. And I wish the highest level of success to everybody else that was involved in the group. And I guess Tommy and Randy's wife all showed up to the cemetery investigation Friday night, the city cemetery in South Bend with Mark. I guess it was a great investigation. I talked to Mark a little bit yesterday morning on his way home from work before we left the hotel. And he said that he went off in one section of the cemetery, they went off in another section of the cemetery, and it was a good live stream for Tommy, and a good investigation all around. So I'm happy for that. It just gets a little disheartening, guys, and I really apologize for it. It gets a little disheartening. Not only the fact that my wife is solely supporting our entire family, but, you know, I started the group, I started doing the investigations, and I have no way to help anybody out or, you know, help with gas, stuff like that. It just gets a little disheartening, and I've really been stewing over the weekend. So I don't know. I don't know. Let me get back up here a little bit. Have you caught an apparition yet? Like physically caught them like a Ghostbuster? Nope. But we have caught a lot of stuff on film. I mean, that's every once in a while you'll see a haze, you know. Get a lot of voice recordings. Oh, that's another thing. That was another thing. Voice recordings are faked because I don't stand in front of the camera like I got Down syndrome or something, holding my voice recorder going, "You want to talk? You want to talk?" Mainly because if you listen to the voice recording, when I first turn it on in front of the camera, you'll hear a crackling noise. It's because of the interference from the camera on the voice recorder. So I walk around and, you know, walk around the room, move the voice recorder around. Obviously, apparently to some people, when I move around the room and stuff like that, even though the voice recorder is facing away from me and it only has a forward mounted microphone, I'm faking EVPs and stuff like that. So basically what it is it's people who don't have very much luck um, at investigations bitching because I do, so I must be faking it because they don't. Care cobblers to them, let them think what they like. Hey, Tony Lee, hope you're doing good, bud. Yeah, we're already humid down here, so it's that time of year. Gonna get pretty hot and humid. Dog days of summer, guys. Can't stop them from coming. I hope a couple videos from the weekend. Oh, there'll be a couple videos. Don't worry. There, take you. Could have had a great time living his mystery. Sometimes, yeah, I'll put your channels on my channel. Featured channel recommendations. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate that, bud. Welcome. Continue to dwell on what naysayers say. You'll drive yourself nuts, dude. I'll be honest with you, and ladies, please excuse the way this sounds, but I have a steering wheel sticking out of the zipper of my jeans, but I drive myself nuts all the time. That steering wheel is there to drive me nuts. So and I do dwell on it. I dwell on it a lot because it's what the viewers, not the ones who already support me or believe in me or trust in me and stuff, it's new viewers. And I've come to find out that all these people talking behind my back about stuff is what's keeping us from growing. Because, nobody wants to watch a fake. If you want to watch a fake, go out and watch Ghost Adventures. Go out and watch some of these other shows that are on TV. People come here to see unsolicited, unedited, unadded stuff. If you want to watch a show that's 65% scripted, go watch a show that's on TV where they have no control over what the final cut shows. I mean, this is why, and Santee can actually confirm this. This is why you have 10 times more film on the cutting room floor when the final edition hits the theaters and stuff, because they cut all this shit out that's not going to be interesting. Oh, well, you're supposed to do this, and this according to the script, then you've got this amount of free space. So you done this, and your free space. So we're going to cut 6 of these thises out until you get down to the 65% that was supposed to be scripted and all that extra fun stuff that you ran across and shit that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe become a sperm donor for extra money. Not at my age, bud. And besides that, there's no place around here that does that. I got to go to like Detroit and stuff like that, and that would be a very long walk. It's like a 2.5 hour drive. But yeah, it'd be a very long walk for me. My nuts would be too tired by the time I got there. Good morning, Rusty. Hope you're doing good today, my friend. Sending you something to read on Messenger. Okay. Freedom, good morning. it's been a rough couple of weeks, and with losing with the group breaking up, and I sat down and I figured, okay, I started this group, but yet I have missed four major investigations this year because nobody could come and get me, and because I didn't have the gas to help them out. So it's not a matter they couldn't come and get me; they wouldn't come and get me because I couldn't help out with gas. So, and then of course you've got people like Danny who will say, "Dude, I didn't realize you weren't going to be here. Do you want me to leave and come and get you?" And I'm sitting here thinking, like, it's a 40-minute trip to come and get me, a 40-minute trip to go back, then a 40-minute trip out of your way to come and get me, and a 40-minute trip to go back to where you're at. It's like, no, that's kind of silly. Tony, I have. I have. The last time that somebody said something to one of our former group members, I put out a video and I said, anyone who don't believe that what you see on our videos, the only thing that's edited into those videos is the words. I edit no sounds in, I edit no video in, I edit nothing in except the words on the side of the screen of what the voice recordings and stuff is saying. It's the only thing I edit in. And I told people, if you don't believe me, get off your fat ass, come to an investigation with us. I'll pull out the sofa sleeper. You can spend the night here, and the next day you can sit here and watch me edit the video to see what goes into it. And I've not had one person take me up on it yet. Not one person. They would much rather sit around and whine and complain than they would actually get the proof and say, oh, I was wrong. I don't use what do they call those when you what do you call those thumbnails? Clickbait. I never use clickbait on my thumbnails. I've never faked an investigation. I mean, come on, I done my own cemetery here in town last year, or 2 years ago, when Mark couldn't make it one evening because of problems at home. He couldn't make it to an investigation, so I walked to our cemetery here in town, and I flat out told everybody. I mean, they heard all the voice recordings and stuff. I'm like, nope, nothing spooky here. It's probably one of the calmest, most loving, boring places I've ever been to. And see, that's the thing that scares me the most, Tony. You say they're cowardly and jealous fools. Those are the ones that got my old channel pulled, and I lost, 4,500 subscribers, 900 videos, all that, my income, because they got jealous, and they got so jealous and wanted to see us pulled that they faked the copyright claims on public photos, knowing that there was no place for me to challenge them because YouTube was ran strictly by computer. You could submit a complaint, but there's no place for the person that they're complaining about to prove themselves. No more phone service at YouTube. It's all done by computer now. So you form 3 complaints or 3 claims against somebody, boom, you get their channel pulled. And I know it was the same person because the computer automatically sends their email so you can try to resolve the issue with them before you get your channel pulled. And the email was the same email on all three complaints, and it was a fake email. I tried to email them back, and my email told me it was a non active email on all three of them. That's the stuff right there. The trolls and stuff come in here, and they try to cause the same kind of problems that they do in other sites. If you look at this, if you look at this chat, it's 98% blue, and I do that for a reason. Person with me for a little bit, they earn my trust, and boom, you get a wrench because I know you're going to watch my back because you're a good supporter of the channel. And that's why everybody has these wrenches, because I know that everyone that gets a wrench, which by the way I have to give a few more of them out. There's still some white in there, and I don't like white. What I don't like white. But that's why I have my chat set up like that, because everybody's watching my back. Because Tony, and I'm going to say this how I feel it in my heart. Yeah, maybe a butthole, but you're the most trustworthy butthole I've ever met in my life. That's how you got a wrench. An 11-year-old boy in Everett, Washington was scammed by a guy who bought a drink from his lemonade stand with a counterfeit $100 bill. Someone started to GoFundMe for him. It's up to $9,000. Dude, I've tried GoFundMe's. I've tried doing GoFundMe's. Not a penny. Not a single penny. But yet, and we've talked about this on here before, I will see somebody put some cute little, my puppy dog needs surgery on his leg, we need $3,000. And I'll look at it, and that GoFundMe will be up to like $16,000, but they needed this money by, like, let's say August last year. It's still getting donations today. I seen one, family's car broke down. They need $3,500 to replace this car so dad can get back and forth to work. That thing be up to $20,000. And it's like seriously? Seriously? But disabled veteran, historian, paranormal investigator needs such and such amount to travel to different schools and actual historic locations, da 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 da, and nobody even looks at it. They slide right over the top of it. David from Chester, Virginia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you. Do you think people might pay for an investigation to be done on their behalf someplace? I've offered that. I've offered that as well. And people just don't seem to. Nope. Most people want to watch and want to give moral support, and that's about the extent of it. I've even told people I am more than happy to jump on a bus, travel to your location, do an investigation of your home, your business, whatever. And nope. Nothing. And that's fine. I don't want to leave my wife and daughter behind anyway. That's the way I think about it. I mean, maybe we should try that. Fake a reason. I have got ass cancer. I need an ass transplant, but we need to buy the orangutan to get the ass to transplant. I need $10,000 for ass transplant. Hopefully, it's a much better looking ass than the one I got, but who knows? Haters be hate. Keep your chin up. Karma's. Yeah, I know. Oh, I know, Freedom. I know. I know. And I can't be fake. Anything and everything. That's the thing that I think. And okay, so pride might be one of the seven deadly sins. But I pride myself on the fact that I have always been completely transparent with you guys. Whenever we have an issue in our family, even though my wife says don't broadcast this all over the damn world, I come in here and I broadcast it all over the damn world because I believe that total and complete transparency is the foundation for not only being true to yourself, but being true to the people you call friends. So I'm going to continue to be completely transparent. Disabled old cowboy needs help with transportation needs. Disabled old cowboy needs a new eye so he can actually drive again. I told the wife the other day, I said, I can ever win any money on a frickin' lottery ticket or something. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy, and I'll drive illegally if I have to. I will straight up drive illegal, no driver's license, one good eye, whatever I got to do to get to these investigations, to get to these people who need me. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I can't rely on other people forever. I can't rely on people to come and get me to go to my investigations, our investigations. I gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah, old woman needs cataract surgery to see again. Exactly. And see, we don't know if mine's glaucoma. We don't know if it's cataracts. We think it's the glaucoma. When I went to the doctor 2.5 years ago, they said I had little spots forming in the back of my eyes, but they didn't want to do anything till both eyes were affected and needed corrective surgery. Sadly enough, and I've had people tell me I need to find a new optometrist, this is the only one in our area that takes my insurance. And it's 35 minutes away. The closest other one that takes my insurance is like 2.5 hours away. That's the bad thing about insurance in the state of Michigan. There's like 5 or 6 different insurances, and they're splotchy. It's not like, oh, you live up in the UP of Michigan. Here's the insurance that all these doctors and hospitals and optometrists and dentists and everything takes. Here you are in the lower UP. This covers this whole region. No, you're in the upper UP. You might not find a dentist for almost 5 hours. I mean, your dentist could be down here in Three Rivers, Michigan, a 5.5 hour drive from where you live. Be the only dentist that takes your insurance. So you never know. Call your insurance company. You have to provide access to closer options. There are no other options. I've already called them. There are no other options. Is that 2 hours worth being able to drive again? Well, it's just the idea, Tony, of the gas driving for a 4 hour round trip to sit in a doctor's office for 20 minutes. You know, uh, that's the thing. I mean, people don't realize, and I really don't go into a lot of detail about it, but we are scraping by. With just her supporting the family, we are scraping by. She don't support me in any way, shape, or form, and I take it back. She bought me my chair last year because the other one I couldn't even sit in here without not barely being able to walk when I got it from it. So she got on Fingerhut and bought me this bloody chair and spent 3 times more than she probably should have on it. But at least I can sit here and do what I do. You have to go. Kara is unfortunately not to. Well, and see, that's the problem. It's not the fact that it's not money well spent, because it really is, but you have to have the money to spend it. To put that extra money in the car to drive clear up there, we're taking away from food for the house, or we're taking away from another bill that, much like if I don't take care of my eyes, my vision will be repossessed. You don't take care of the furnace payment, the furnace and air conditioner will be repossessed. You don't take care of the hot water heater payment, it will be repossessed. You don't take care of your car payment or your car insurance, it will be repossessed. So, you have to weigh the good with the bad. Do you need this when you still got one good working one, or do you need this to keep your household cool, or keep food in your daughter's belly, or what? So, but I mean, we make it. We make it. But enough with that. I'm stepping down off my soapbox. Like I said before, it was a great. Oh, Brooke, I done the disability thing last July. I actually had to do phone court out of Indiana, and I sat right here at the desk on speakerphone with the court and the whatever they call that guy that sits in court and tells you what jobs you can still do, or what your rating is in the employment field, stuff like that. And I still qualified for 22% of the jobs out there, even with the uncontrolled blood sugar, the dizzy spells, the neuropathy, my back, etc. Yeah, a con artist. Thank you, Tony. This guy told me that I qualified for uneducated secretarial skills, where I could just go into an entry level position as a secretary. And I'm like, what office is going to let you sit and stand whenever you need to, because your legs start to go numb, or your back starts to hurt really bad, or whatever? And they said, well, I said, besides that, I live in a town of 3,000 people. Where are these jobs at? They said, you'll find them in cities like Detroit, St. Louis. Larger cities have openings like that. I'm like, we're paying on this house. The family's been paying on this house for 16 years. We can't just move. Well, then you don't want to work. So, but also because of COVID and the fact that they only done over the telephone visits during the COVID pandemic, I didn't have a lot of, I had a lawyer. I had a lawyer. They were actually specialists in disability and they thought we were going to get it. But he warned me ahead of time that that guy in the court, the employment specialist that speaks up for the state, they told me he was an SOB and it was going to be hard to get past him. But the judge did tell me if I started my process over since COVID was over and had all of my doctor's appointments and all the records and stuff, no phone visits or anything like that, that I had a much better chance of winning. So that's what we're doing now. We started the process over. It only took us 5 years of gathering information to get to court the first time. Believe me, if I got disability, my wife would be ecstatic. She would be jumping for joy because that would mean that after she got paid on a Friday and paid all the bills and filled her car up the first time, she has to fill her car up 3 times to drive back and forth to work for 14 days till she get 13 days till she gets her next paycheck. If she could actually get paid on a Friday and still have money left the following Wednesday, she'd be ecstatic. She'd be the happiest little wing dinger in the world. Let's see here. Give it to him. I get it. That's why I'm going back to school. You're hard supporting the family on your own. Masters get better money. I'm telling you, you need a better doctor. Tony, I wish we had more doctors in this town. We have one doctor's office in this town, a clinic. It has one doctor and 3 medical assistants. And it just so happens that I have the only doctor in our town. Hey, Squatch, good to see you, bud. Sorry, I'm up in the chat trying to catch up here. 16 people on my roof. Cool. At least you're getting it done. At least you're finally getting it done, bud. Yeah, and see, we weren't even planning on staying in a hotel this weekend. We were supposed to stay with my sister that only lives 12 miles from my son. And she tested positive for COVID on Thursday. We were leaving Saturday morning to head to her house to drop everything off, and then all of us were going to visit my son and daughter-in-law and my grandkids. And my sister tested positive on Thursday. So we were pretty much stuck trying, we had to pull $112 out of our butts, which we really honestly didn't have, but we managed to pull it out just to have some place to stay so I could still go and celebrate my grandbaby's 4th birthday. So, which I told you guys the other day it was his 3rd birthday, but I forgot that we couldn't, the whole COVID thing for 2 years, 20 and 21. So I was at his birthday in 2019, which is when he smashed cake in my face sitting in his high chair. And then I didn't see him for his 2nd or 3rd birthday. So this year was his 4th birthday. Baby mama, whole household tested positive last week. It's terrible. It's terrible. This new this new version of it that comes out. My sister works in the medical field. She works at a retirement community, and with a friend of both of ours from school. We've all been friends for 40 years. And just all of a sudden, my sister felt like crap on Monday. She felt a little better on Tuesday. Felt like crap again on Wednesday. Set up a doctor's appointment on Wednesday. Went in, got tested Thursday morning. They called her and said, "You tested positive for the new variant." And as soon as we heard, or as soon as she found out, she called us. And it's like, well, crap. Luckily, the wife got paid on Friday. She took care of all the bills. I took what few dollars I had left on, the PayPal thing, and I pulled it. I think there was $22 on there. I pulled the $20 off, and my cigar money. But I've learned to cut down, I guess. But anyway, pulled that off, gave it to her, and we we took care of it. So we were able to get the hotel for one night. God knows we couldn't have done it for 2 nights. But the nice thing about it was, when we were down there 2 years ago, we stayed at a place in Muncie, Indiana called the Baymont. It should have been called it should have been called the closed for demolition. Paint peeling off the walls, toilet leaked, smelled like death. So we found another one, and this one here was actually the Super 8, and it was probably the nicest, cleanest hotel I have been in years. It was also twice the amount of the one we stayed in before, which, you get what you pay for. So I'm sorry, glad that you got to spend time with the family. It was cool. It was cool. It was fun. It was fun. Like I said, I got some video and stuff. I'll be putting that up on Wednesday after my rant bitch session thing that I did. Fetch and about a half money back for groceries, household items. Never heard of it. Oh, but yeah, it was a fun weekend. Um, Hot. Oh my God, it was hot. Was 92 degrees where we were at. Heat index was 102 degrees, and we had about 20 people there total. Not all at one time. They'd come and go. But we were all outside. My son set up his famous downhill slip and slide. It's about 110 feet of heavy duty tarp, and then he had the bounce house down at the end with the pool in it, and they ran that thing all day long, all evening long for the kids. They'd start off at the top of the hill by the old barn, which you guys will see in the video, and they had like full size blow up rafts, and they had the little floaty things and stuff like that. They hit that hill, and they were doing 35 mile an hour by the end of that hill, hit the ramp, go off in the splash house, you know. And then Saturday night had a big old bonfire. He just recently built a tree house out in the barnyard for the kids, and all of his scrap wood and everything went onto this burn pile. This thing was probably 20 foot across by 8 feet high, and just huge pile of scrap wood and everything. The really cool thing, and you guys will see this in the video. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it. Let's just say, let's just say, though I have tried or thought about pulling away from the paranormal, doesn't necessarily mean that the paranormal is trying to pull away from me. Take that as you might. I can guarantee the video, especially the video clips I took at the hotel, you guys will see. I actually was talking to the manager, the owner of the hotel, Sunday morning, and I asked him. I said, "Has anybody ever said anything about hearing knocking on the door, knocking on the walls, up in the ceiling, anything like that?" He says, "No, no complaints." And then I said, "No, not complaints, curiosities." And he says, "No, not that I've ever been told." And some little girl getting her continental breakfast, getting her coffee and stuff, getting ready to go back upstairs to her room. Our room was downstairs. Her room was upstairs. She said, "I kept hearing that last night, and I thought it was somebody opening the doors causing a wind draft down the hall." And I told her, I said, if you were on the first floor, I would almost debunk anything paranormal because of wind drafts. I said, but number one, there was no wind last night at all. None. It was dead. Number two, if you come in the downstairs door, by the time you get to the stairwell, the outside door has closed. You open the stairwell door to go up the 2 flights of stairs to go upstairs. By the time you get to the first landing, the downstairs doors is closed. So then you've got to go up the 2 flights of stairs, open the upstairs door to get into your hallway. There is no wind flow. So it can't be the wind making your door rattle. Besides that, a rattle is, I said, "Don't tell me, let me guess, you were hearing a distinct..." And she said, "Yeah, that's exactly what it was." I said, "That's what I was hearing on the first floor." I said, "And I got up probably 6 times and there was nobody in the hallway." And it wasn't a knock, it was just a gentle tap. Just enough to hear it. "Risk of severe weather in your area in the next 24 hours. Yay, it's Monday and gonna rain again." Means I'll have to mow the yard again this summer. Damn it. I've only had to mow it twice all year so far. I swear to God, when it rains, it pours. You play on words right there. So what'd you guys do this weekend? I've been talking about me for an hour. What'd you guys do this weekend? I've mowed twice in 2 weeks. Dude, I mowed the first time the beginning of June, second week of June. I mowed the first time. The grass actually got probably 5 inches. So, because it had rained this spring a lot. So by the time it was actually dry enough for 2 days to get out there and mow, I went out and mowed, then we had another dry spell. And I mowed 2 or 3 weeks ago. But up until that point, our buckhorns were like 12 inches tall, but the grass was only like that. We finally had 2 days of rain. The grass shot up to probably 3.5 or 4 inches. So I went out and mowed everything. Not needed it again since. Been mowing every week. I wish I could mow every week. I mean, that's my escape from being stuck in this little room, is going outside and doing things. You know, I have to figure out how to get the deck rebuilt. You know, with the price of lumber and stuff, this deck has been sitting here, untreated lumber, mind you, untreated lumber. This deck has been sitting here for 16 years. I have had to pull chunks off the deck because it was rotten, so grandma didn't fall through the deck or something like that. The railing is starting to rot away and stuff. Um, but I have to rebuild the deck to make it safe. And with the price of lumber these days, could you imagine all of the 2 by 12s and stuff? This thing's got 32 by 12s on it. It's 6 by 6 posts every 4 feet. Of course, I'm not going to sink it in the ground. I'm going to block it. I'm going to leave the 2 good posts in as a support, and block the rest on the gravel and everything. But because the gravel's settled, all it's going to settle. But, you know, I started on the tractor in the front yard yesterday. By the time I got to the backyard, I was leaning to the side because my back was killing me. Jay took over. Been trying to persuade arthritic fingers to play 3 unusual guitar chords in a row, Bloody Beatles, and they're fancy chords. I bid this roof before lockdown. Had to do it again, went up 36%. Yep. My mom and dad down in Tennessee just redone 4 steps and their railing on their deck. The deck itself was still good. They had to replace the railing going completely around their deck, which their deck is only 10 by 10, and the steps are only 3 foot wide or 3 foot long. But they had to do the steps and the railing. Cost them almost $196 in lumber. And then they went out and got the brown all-season sealant to put on everything. Wound up costing them almost $200 just to do that little teeny tiny bit. Our deck is 3 times bigger than theirs. Thank God I got concrete steps going up to the damn thing. But yeah, this whole thing is untreated lumber. So it is, I mean, Jan and Jay will see when they're here. It's got big chunks of wood pulled off the planks on the decking. One section of the double 2x4 railing completely rotted. I mean, you sit out there and pick it apart with your fingernails and just split the wood. And I took a length of 2x4 that wasn't even, I mean, it's like a foot shy of being the right length, but it's the only piece of 2x4 I had around here, and put it back up there to cover up the exposed screws and stuff so somebody wouldn't lean up against it and get a rusty old screw in their hand or something like that. This place starting to kind of look like one of them their little places in the hollers down there in West Virginia or Kentucky or something that they put together with pallet wood. Yeah, you're right. You can only do so much, and I mean you can only do what you can do, and yeah, exactly. I didn't want anybody to get improperly screwed on my deck, so I covered up the little rusty screws so nobody got an infectious screw. You know, once in a while when we can, we like to entertain, and I'm not so concerned about us because none of us are ever over on that time of or on that side of the table. So We're looking forward to spending some time with you and physically being on the live stream on the 19th. Oh yeah, most definitely. I am as well. That's going to be an awful long day for you guys to sit around here and just look at my face. If you're planning on being here for the live stream, because I'm still looking for us an investigation to do together on the evening of the 19th. That way you'll have a lot of video to go back home and work on between an investigation with me and Ghostorama on Saturday with me. Oh yeah. I was going to get new t-shirts made with the since we are one of the hosts of the event and I wanted everything to look good. I was going to try to get new t-shirts made with our brand new insignia and the name, the YouTube channel, everything on it. That's going to be a no-go. At $16 a piece, no. No. So still got to get the banner done. Thank God the place I'm getting the banner from is where Danny gets his banners from. You put in the order one day, the thing ships the next day. So I'm not feeling the sweat from that anymore. What's the name of that place? It's called bannersonthecheap.com. That's what it is. Bannersonthecheap.com. It says right there, order today, ships tomorrow, high quality fade resistant printing, grommets and reinforcement options, vinyl banner. So we're going to be good. I guess I better make sure I get prettied up. Yep, you might want to get your hair and your nails done. Even get a pedicure. Get your little toes done up too. Look all pretty. Hopefully the weather's nice on Friday morning, because there's not going to be enough room back here for three of us. So, yeah, hopefully the weather's nice so we can go outside and do the morning stream. I get my decals from a place called Fast Signs. Never heard of them. Never heard of them. But the really nice thing about it is, guys, my wife has seen me struggling so much to rebuild the channel. You knew here a few months ago that the engine completely went out of her old car. She had to go to Carvana and get a new one. They were the only ones that had a low enough monthly payment for her to get this new car that she has, this Equinox. And but she has agreed to even let me get the vinyl decal for her back window, and advertise on the car. So nothing big, mind you. I mean, she don't want something to take up the whole side of the car, but she's got these little teeny tiny slanted back windows that are probably 13 or 14 inches. So she's going to let me put the Raven and the new company, the new company insignia and stuff on there, so I can actually advertise. Not only will I be advertising out at the casino for 8 hours a day, but any place she drives, going to her training, down in like New Buffalo, or when she has to go up to the other facilities for training. Every place she drives is more advertisement. So I once worked in a pub which was open in 1729. It was haunted for sure. I love doing pubs. I love doing restaurants. Um, I like doing houses. Cemeteries will probably always be my favorite, but I love doing the pubs. I love doing restaurants. Um, they're fun, and you never know what you're going to find. Like when we done Tosie's restaurant here a few months ago. Um, it wasn't the fact that people died in Tosie's, but people worked there for so many years, and they called that place home, that apparently that's where their spirit decided to rest after their passing. It's very cool, very cool. Will heads work? We can remove our heads and put them on the table. Yeah, I suppose, but I'm gonna have to move the camera like way down and like here. There we go. Your heads can sit like right here, but this is all you're gonna see of me. But wait, hold on. Yeah, I could probably do it like this with your head sitting right here. That'll work. I don't think so. I don't think heads will work. Oh. Immobile. I understand immobile. Y'all should have seen me gimping around this place when I got out of that car yesterday. Sadly enough, the car ride I think was the worst part. Um, my leg, the back of my leg, where the artery runs, that the blood clots in, was right on the back of the bend of my knee. So I had to kick my shoes off, put my right leg out, lift my left leg up on top of it, and then the weight of my leg would start to make my right leg hurt. So I had to move it again, and I had to move my leg up in the seat and cross my legs. It was a very uncomfortable car ride. But it was funny watching me get out of the car because I told the wife, I should have brought my cane. I should have brought my cane. I should have brought my cane. And I didn't. I didn't. The son that I went to visit was the one that always used to tell me that maybe it's time to hang the cape up and, quit trying to save the world. But this is the same kid that followed in my footsteps, graduated in May, was gone in the latter part of June to join the service, spent 6 years in the service, you know, out saving the world. Same thing that he always told me it was time to stop doing. I would have strapped you to the roof. If I think I probably would have agreed to let you strap me to the roof. Even with the air conditioner going in the car, it was still humid in there. I kept rolling the window down just to get a breeze blowing in on me. Could lay in the back seat in Big Red and be comfortable. Oh, I can't because I'll have two teenage girls with me. There's no such a thing as comfort when there's two 13-year-old girls with you. These two giggle boxes pulled out the sleeper, the sofa sleeper last night and slept in the middle of the living room. And of course, we locked the kitties in our bathroom at night, so they're not trying to wake us up at 12:30 at night to be played with. And so we go through the living room to go to the main bathroom off the living room right here next to the studio. And I don't know how many times the wife and I walked through there and clunked our knees on that steel bed frame last night. Thank God it was my right knee and not the left one, because I probably would have folded them up in the sofa sleeper to get them out of the way. So it was either stubbed toes, tripping over power cords to tablets, or hitting the bed frame with our legs. I guarantee you will not run it. Seat laid all the way back on the way up. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I can't believe we were just a few hours away from you. Um, Muncie, Indiana is real close to the midway point. It's only about 40 miles north of Indianapolis, but we're all the way to the east side of Indiana. I think it's only 7 miles, 8 miles past Muncie, 10 miles maybe. Past Muncie, you're in Ohio. So, I mean, we were literally just probably 3 hours from you, 2.5 hours from you, all weekend long. But the nice thing about it, Saturday night, you know, the Saturday night was the end of the Delaware County fair. So, you know, we'd go outside the hotel to smoke, um, and we had fireworks. So, I mean, it was kind of pretty. Um, Let me think. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I was looking for more detail. You'll see in less than a week. Wish I could have met up with you. Yeah, a little bit more than a week. Today's the 8th, so we got 12 days. Um, you know, so we're down to just under 2 weeks now until you guys come up and goes to Rama. Um, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun regardless of how you look at it, because not only are we going to do, some people call a Mazda a truck. Uh, you know, Santee has a little truck, but it gets him where he's going out there in the desert region in Arizona. But yeah, Big Red is a big truck. Big truck. All right, Brooklyn. You have a good day, honey. You take care of yourself, and I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. Glad you got your channel back. I look forward to your live streams again. Bright red, full quad cab, Chevy Z71. There you go. Yep. I'll see you soon. You take care. Oh, man. It's nice to be back home. Crawled back in my own bed last night. Of course, you know, I woke up the first time at, I think I woke up the first time at 12:30 last night, and forced myself to go back to bed. Woke up again at 2:30, and my back was starting to hurt, so I got down on my knees at the side of the bed on my stack of pillows, laid down over the bed, fell asleep, woke up at 4:59, and managed to just be walking out of the room when the wife's alarm went off. So, be it ever so restless, there's no place like home. Since Jay wanted the cheapest motel he could find, I'll be sleeping in my clothes. Uh, or maybe standing up. Well, maybe if he just like puts two shoestrings over the closet rod, and you just slip your arms through them and just kind of hang there and sleep in the closet. That might be fun. And you won't fall down when you go to sleep. That's one. I don't give two poops where I'm at. I don't sleep in my clothes. I want to be comfortable when I sleep, as comfortable as possible, because I'm already a furnace. So regardless of whether it's 92 degrees outside or 2 degrees outside, I break a sweat about 1 o'clock in the morning. And uh, I was wearing, a t-shirt last night, and when I woke up at 2:30, I was soaked. And so then the air conditioner kicks on, and I automatically got the chills. I couldn't stop shaking. So I put on a long sleeve shirt, got there at the edge of the bed, fell back asleep, and I it was bad. It was bad. The wife hates it. That's her only complaint, is the fact that I am a furnace. I don't know why I get so hot at night, and I could be sleeping on top of the covers in nothing but a pair of swim trunks or something, boxers, boxer briefs, whatever the case may be, and break a sweat. There'd be 2 degrees outside, and I will break a sweat. If she lays up against me, her back is soaked. Wherever I touch is soaked. I'll change clothes in the morning, but I ain't bringing home any bed bugs. Oh, God. Luckily, we've not had a problem that I've heard of. Don't quote me on that. We've not had a problem that I've heard of in the last 2 years around here when it comes to the old buggy poos in the hotels and stuff. I actually picked up bed bugs one time years and years ago at a Hilton. When I was escorting oversized loads, we were hauling for a major company, and they wanted to put us up in a nice hotel right next to where the drop place was for the load. And they wound up putting us up in the Hilton, Marriott by Hilton, right next door to the drop location. And I picked up bed bugs from the Marriott. So it's not just the dirty, grungy little places. It's the big places, too, that get them. They wound up having to close off the entire fourth floor of that Marriott because every single room was infested. Tell the missus there's flames of hell nipping at your ass. That's what I keep telling her. That's what I keep telling her. She'll come home from work after I've been out in the yard or something like that, and I haven't gotten a shower yet. My t-shirt's all soaked and everything. My hat's soaked. Got sweat run down my face. She'll look at me and say, "God, you look hot." And then she'll touch my chest, and I'll be like, "Well, thank you. You look pretty good yourself, baby." And she'll shake her head and say, "I know better than to talk to you." Give me a kiss on the cheek and walk away. It's like, I was complimenting you. You look pretty good, too. I mean, you could never look hot in that uniform, but I mean, you look pretty good. Like, like one of them creamsicles. We made into a cool story. Very true. Very true. Walked in the studio this morning. Funniest thing. Normally, regardless, because I only have one vent in this room, and I got the fan sitting in front of it, so it blows the cold air from the air conditioning over here towards the computer and everything. Walked in here this morning. This place was colder than a well digger's butt in bronze underwear in Nome, Alaska. There was no warming this room up because it hadn't been opened up in 2 days. So I had everything shut off in here. The computer was shut down. There were no lights on, nothing. So I had no heat sources in this room at all. And it was colder than Billy be damned in here. That's why I've got on a long sleeve shirt right now. It's terrible. It was terrible, terrible. But if you guys will excuse me for a second, I am going to go make a run to the pate. Hopefully the girls are not in there taking up both bathrooms already, so I don't have to grab one of them by their hair and pull them out in their BBDs so I can go in there and do a tinkly thing. But y'all talk real nice amongst yourselves and stuff, and I'll be back in just a second. Boom chugga lugga lugga boom chugga lugga lugga boom chugga lugga lugga boom. All right. Oh, let me get back up here, get caught up real quick. Y'all kept talking. Let me see here. Yeah, good here. Tony's always good. Psst. All right. I don't know why you're trying to pull off like that, but okay. Whatever you say. I cleaned the little boy's room this morning, listened to the show. About finished. I bet that's a relief. Or good at it. There you go. Just waiting game search. Starts last year, next week. Coming, staying with my animals while we're up with Drew. She'll graduate May 6th. Hopefully be able to send. Pretty proud. We are. We try to start a family. Then they will try to start a family. I don't think I have ever said I was not good when asked. To be good or good at it, whatever. That's the way I look at it, Tony. Every single day you get up and can get out of bed, it's a win. It's always my response to people that I meet on the street or I meet up at the store or something like that. It's like, hey, how you doing today? Well, I woke up. Hell of a start. Where it goes from here, yet to be seen, but it's a good start. Yes, I am back. Jeez. So, yep, it'll only be, of course, Danny will be at Ghostorama. I'm sure Tommy and Randy will be at Ghostorama. They will be set up um, on their own. Um, the wife is going to try to find a pop up online to get prices because it's over $100 at Walmart. A year and a half ago, it was $85 for an 8x8 pop up. We looked the other day, and just the folding table, the 6-foot tables at Walmart's over $80 now. They were $65 last time we looked at them. So Walmart's prices have gone up, supply and demand, which is why Walmart doesn't get a lot of the products they order. The warehouse down in Arkansas or wherever it's at pretty much sends them just whatever $40 at DG. The tables, yeah, canopies. What we're wanting is one of those little like 8x8 or 10x10 pop-ups that you just open up the steel frame, pull the cover down. We have one table. I was going to take a second table, to hook the TV and everything up on so we could display the videos, the investigation videos behind us. But because we've got the big 60, 70 inch, 75 inch in my daughter's room. But yeah, we have one 6-foot folding table. I was looking at a second 60-foot, and then the pop-up. But 200 some odd bucks. Not exactly easy to pull out of your butt when your goose quit laying golden eggs. RDG don't even sell the tables, Tony. RDGs around here don't even sell the tables. Found out yesterday that me leaving work was the number one reason that the business closed down. Good. That'll teach them. They should have paid you more. They should have paid you more, treated you better, and made you like the top head supervisor dude. then maybe their business would be flourishing today. That'll teach them to not show the proper respect to the proper people. Um, just bought two. Those white. Just forget. Yeah, we have one we can bring as well as a table. Jan, you're awesome. You're a freaking lifesaver, girl. Ah, you could no longer do the work. I got you. Well, see, they should have made you like the top dog. That way, you only had to go out to the job site, maybe check things out, stuff like that. Go back to your nice air conditioned office and your big fancy desk and sit there. And the only time you had to leave is when you wanted to. I was. Oh, okay. Well, uh, I'm out of. I'm out of. He was the only dog. We have it all in the barn. Huh. Well, I'm going to need to get one anyway because Ghostorama is not going to be our last convention this year. We're going to have two or three. Two. We're going to have two more conventions this year. So I'm going to have to invest in them anyway. That way I have them for the other conventions. Well, need it for one more convention. The last one I think we're going to do is going to be inside. So we'll need the tables, but we won't need the canopy. So, and I think this is going to be the beginning of a new thing for us, is doing more of the conventions, um, putting ourselves out there that way. That way people really honestly don't have to look for us. They can be going just up and down the aisles at the convention and see us right there. So it's still going to be fun though. I like doing conventions. I like talking to people. I like meeting new people. Um, Clothes racks, 6 and 8 foot tables, canopy, cheese and cramming. Did you own a clothing store at one time, Jan? That's actually something else I need to invest in sometime in the near future. Clothing racks and hangers. Yeah, sure. If you guys want to throw that stuff up in Big Red, yeah, we could definitely use it. We could definitely use it. But that's something I do need to invest in sometime in the near future is um, clothes racks and hangers, and to that way I can eliminate the piles of reenacting clothes and stuff that I have no storage space for in the closet. I sent a bunch of stuff home with Tyler, but I still got probably 10 times more than I sent home with him. So, but don't forget, I cover a 300-year span. So, look back in the earlier days, look at what really built the other channel. It wasn't so much paranormal as much as history or historic. We did build really good when we just done history, but when we started doing paranormal, that's when we really took off. Or when Mark and I started doing cemeteries, that's when it really took off. And that's what I think we're really going to tilt back to more, is doing more cemeteries than, I mean, we're still going to do museums and stuff like that. But I think we're going to tilt back more towards the cemeteries because that's what people really liked. All right, Jan, thank you. Yes, it will actually buy me some more time. Thank you very much. Whispers, good morning. Hope you're doing well. JJ's Rentals and Table Loans. There you go. I use the tables and canopy to do events here with my friend for crystals. Very smart. Very smart. Oh, I know. And see, Tony, if you look back at the last few videos I've done, I've really started tilting back to the history thing. You know, a lot less of the paranormal and stuff, and I've just started doing a lot more of the history thing, a lot more of the Native American thing. You know, I had the George Washington thing the other day. I have, believe it or not, taken your advice before you actually even offered the advice. I was following basically what you're saying is tilting back towards the history a lot more, and I really enjoy that stuff. I enjoy doing the history and everything. I'm saying not to make it the be all end all. Exactly. Really have no interest in the paranormal stuff. The cemetery videos for fun. I have people telling me they like when I've done historic places. And see that it. God, how is it? I'm trying to figure out how to really explain it because on here I done very good with the history stuff, but I wasn't able to branch out in public doing the history stuff. I can go out in the public and do paranormal stuff or the parahistorical stuff, but on here there's just way too much competition to ever want to really succeed on here doing it. So I've been trying to tilt more back to the history stuff on here and then occasionally get out and do an investigation or something of a cemetery and just plop the video up. If that makes sense. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking in circles because I'm trying to explain things to myself. Yeah, exactly. Look at what Santee does. And you know, I learned a lot. Um, I learned a lot from Santee when it comes to different things. And you know, I wish I lived in a location and had a way to get to more historical spots. I mean, there's a lot of history right here in the state of Michigan. Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois. There's a lot of history. I just can't get to the locations to do anything. And that's one thing that really hurts. I believe it or not, I actually had a viewer a year ago, year and a half ago, that was talking about buying us a panel van, a box truck. Uh, you know, kind of like what American Pickers drives. He was actually talking about trying to find us one, putting our logo on the side of it, and giving it to us so there was less wear and tear on personal vehicles, and we actually had a vehicle to put all of our paranormal equipment in, all of our filming equipment, all of our sound equipment, and travel to these different locations, be it a historic location or a haunted historic location or whatever, and actually being able to film at those locations. And I don't know if they just never found one or what the deal was, but you know, I argued to the point too that no, they didn't need to spend that kind of money on us and stuff like that. And I think he took it to heart. I lost my van, but I couldn't drive it anyway. So it looked kind of funny driving down the road. So so much history. We can go to someplace historic when we're there. Not really that close. Not really that close. I mean, you're talking about a couple hours drive to some of these locations. So that's the problem. If it was close, hell, I'd walk to them. Give you an idea for a series that, if done well, could be big, and that is on Lincoln. I like doing Abe. He had a very interesting life, and I mean, even his death, very, very interesting. There's a lot to be told in his short life. My rental car here in Pennsylvania has Michigan plates on it. What a coincidence. Very much so, you're right. Given your situation, get where you can do it. Last rental car I got had expired plates. Well, at least it don't fall back on you when the rental car has expired plates. Yeah, and see, Tony, that's something I would really, really love to do. Is, you know, Lincoln's birthplace, um, Lincoln's grave in Illinois, um, when he lived in southern Indiana. Southern Indiana has got Corden, Indiana, down in the southwest central part of the state, was the original territorial capital for the Indiana Territory before it ever became a state. And I was down there 20 years ago. The Capitol building is still there. The lynching post across, no, not the lynching post, but the whipping post across the street from the territorial capital is still sitting in front of what used to be the jailhouse, where they would tie people up and whip them for their crimes. It's still right there. I mean, the Corden was a very important point during Morgan's raid, when he came up out of Tennessee, through Kentucky, and into southern Indiana before heading east. He fired on Corden, Indiana, but they had just got their cannon and couldn't zero it in. So most of the cannonballs went completely over the town and landed in a farm on the north edge of town. They must have pulled 30 cannonballs out of this farm field around the barn and everything. Most of those cannonballs are sitting up in the old territorial capitol building right uptown. Michigan. We have got the fort up north. We have got Fort St. Joseph right here in Niles. Um, Lots and lots and lots of historic locations around here. From Lincoln's younger life, too bad. Rental much longer. I drive to your shindig. Ford dealerships paying for it. There you go. It'd be nice to have you, Templar. New Salem State Park is a real highlight. New Salem. It's our town where Lincoln started his career. Actually, a place, I'm told. I didn't know where he started his career in law. I know, like I said, I know he spent some time in Ohio. He spent some time in Kentucky. He spent some time in Indiana. He spent some time in Illinois. And, of course, his time in Washington. I would love to actually film along the Trail of Tears. We have another trail right here in northern Indiana, not very far south. Well, actually, part of it comes up into Michigan. And I believe it was called the Trail of Sorrows or something like that, um, where they started the mass movement of natives from this area out to Indian Territory. But getting the time to go out and film, finding the markers, stuff like that, getting away to go film. It's rough. It's rough. He went from a store clerk to lawyer in New Salem. Wow. That'd be very emotional for me to do the Trail of Tears. It's actually, yeah, it would be very emotional because there are so many unmarked graves along the trail that, not to mention that the trail is, partly covered by highway now, it's partly covered by towns, it's partly covered by cities, um, homes. I mean, y'all remember Nick? Nick's house is built, Nick's property is built right on the Trail of Tears. So, going through southern Missouri. I mean, it would just be, you just never know. You never know. How many markers are there marking certain places, and what do they mark? Um, we even took Oklahoma back. Ever seen Oklahoma? I've seen parts of Oklahoma. The southernmost tip of Oklahoma, right down just over the Red River, out of Texas. That's the only part of Oklahoma I remember ever seeing. When I lived down in Texas, back in what, 90, 98, 99, 2000. Um, I had friends take me up over the Red River into Oklahoma to show me where the big F6 tornado went through and wiped the towns out. All that's left in these fields are concrete foundations sitting in the fields. Um, but I've never seen any other part of Oklahoma. My earlier visits, I couldn't believe how trashed the thing looked. I would love to go to places like Tahlequah, Oklahoma, some of the different reservations out there. I would love to go back to, or I would love to go to New York. That's a dream of mine, to go to New York, to another northern New York state, to the Susquehannas. Where the red skin, where the native part of my family came from. I would love to go to my family's original property that they bought when they came here in 1754. I have maps of the original Virginia territory, so I know where the northernmost fork of the Potomac River in the Virginia territory would be at today. Do I have family still out there? I don't know. No clue. I just need to hit the lottery, buy a motorhome, and just travel the country, hitting all these different historic locations and visiting all these places and talking to people. And I mean, that would be the cat's meow for me. And it wouldn't even have to be a motorhome. Hell, it could be a box truck that I could put a couple of fold down cots in the back of. I'd be a happy camper, quite literally. It was red dirt, stubby ass brush and junk. I remember the red dirt. We've been there on our honeymoon. We came through there. I want to go to southeast Missouri. Let the rest burn. Best play Powerball then, 500,000 and 5 a gallon. Yeah, exactly. You know, I have still never heard about anybody claiming that Mega Millions thing from last week. I heard it was $1.8 billion, the largest Mega Million jackpot ever. I know the ticket was sold, and I believe it was sold in Ohio, might have been Illinois, but I've not heard of anybody claiming it yet. Yeah, I know people can't. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people can afford gas for a motorhome. That's what my wife's stepdad and his wife do now. They're in Indiana right now. Next month, they're heading to North Carolina. They've been to 28 states in the last 3 years. No, they've been to 38 states in the last 3 years. And they've got one of those great big, huge 70-foot motor coaches they drive. You don't think I would tell you? I would tell you all. DePage, Illinois. Okay. All right. I wondered about that. I didn't know. We don't have to identify. I know better than that, Tony, because I know you're the kind of person that even though you give me seven rafts of hell every time that you come on here, if you won $1.8 billion, you would make sure that I didn't have any issues for the rest of my life because you're just that kind of person. So I know better than to think that you won that $1.8 billion. I don't care how much poopy caca you try to fling this direction. I know you're deep down inside, you are a caring individual. I know that. Don't bet on it. No, but it sounded real good, didn't it? One of Jay's ex-co-workers has done that for the last 5 years. They have a motor coach and a tow behind. I got lots of kids and grandkids. Best to take care of them, bud. Best to take care of them. That's what I would do. I would pay off my mom and dad's house. I would pay off my kids' houses. I would make sure that they all have good vehicles and stuff. I'd pay off this place. Then we'd tear it down and build a real house here. Not a modular. We would build a real house here. Um, might even buy the rental place over here across the alley and adopt that property as well. That way we could put a bigger house in here, and I would have a real studio, not a room in the house. So that's just me, though. Tony's good heart overall. Yes, he does. Tony does have a good heart overall. He is a jokester and he's fun to hang around with and catch a lot of flack from, but yes, if he didn't, he wouldn't be caring about them kids and grandkids so much. Florida, I heard you're required to come forward if you win. May have changed it though. Because this was the family's property, and I would really like to keep the family's property. Or the house, when they brought the house in, because the property piece was so thin, they brought it in and pulled it clear forward and then twisted it to get it back on the foundation. And when they did, they started causing a lot of internal damage. And we got a crack going down the living room ceiling and stuff at the peak where they twisted the place to get it on the foundation. It caused a lot of internal damage. And Steph, really honestly, she loves the property because this is the property that she grew up on. She hates the house. Even though it was Grandpa's house and everything, she hates the house, but she loves the property. And see, I don't mind winter. I don't mind winter. I don't mind the snow and stuff. You could buy the bird cage. Dude, if I had that kind of money, you better bet your sweet Patusi I would buy some historic location. And I would buy some historic location somewhere and fix it up so people could enjoy it for years to come. A couple of Poconos years ago, won $5 million Powerball 2 months in a row. Oh yeah, I'd have a saloon. I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. We talked about this. We joked about this a couple of years ago. If money was no object, if I was a multimillionaire, I would build. I would go out and buy, you know, 50 acres of land somewhere. I would build a western town and make it a tourist location. We'd have the big house at the end of town, um, where we would live at and stuff like that. The rest of the town would basically be a tourist location. People could come out and camp. They could come out and film. They could come out and do reenactments, whatever. But tourists could come in and experience life as it was 150 years ago. I mean, that would be perfect. I have actually wanted to do that, and this is going to sound weird, but I've actually wanted to do that since I got old enough to really enjoy Little House on the Prairie. Building a town like that where people could actually come and experience that life. They could see it, they could enjoy it, they could become part of it. Even to the point of renting outfits out to people where they could stay in the hotel, experience the saloon, um, even have gunfights in the streets and stuff like that. Go watch the Can Girls in the saloon or in the theater or whatever the case may be. I don't know, I'd buy something historic, but I'd build a western town, most definitely. Be wrong here. I gotta be wrong. Wouldn't do it for tourism. It's just to live the life. I love that part of doing living history displays. I always did too. There's a woman and her kids bought an old West Ghost town in Montana. The key word is ghost. And there's a lot of them for sale. There's a lot of them for sale. You can look online and find them listed anywhere from $100,000 all the way up to over $1 million. Look at the fella here on YouTube at Ghost Town Living. You know, he bought that town 5 years ago, paid $1 million for God knows how many hundreds of acres. But the old mining town's there, and he slowly but surely, he has people coming from all over the world to help him rebuild that town out there. And he's broke ground on the foundation for the hotel. And yep, it's actually called Ghost Town Living, here on YouTube. And he does some he's explored the old mines. He has found old 19th century jeans and stuff down inside the mines. He has found silver still in the mines. He's slowly but surely rebuilding the entire ghost town so people could start coming out there and experiencing ghost town living. He's in the process now of rebuilding the old original hotel. Awesome dude. Awesome dude. I actually talked to him here a couple weeks ago. And I sent him a message, and he messaged me back within 10 minutes. And we sat and talked he's right on the edge of Death Valley, up in the mountains. Advisors in the little village, I can add shops, people can visit. Synagogue, one Victorian type town, exactly. Everyone need to go back. All right, Templar, you take care of yourself, bud. Later, Tony. You take care of yourself, bud. I'm sure he's already gone, but it would be very cool to have the money and means to do that. You're right. It would be very, very cool to do it. But yeah, he gets a lot of donations. And I think that's partially how he bought the town in the first place. Was he got a lot of donations and he saved them up over time, and he bought this place, and I think he got a partial loan on it too, to buy the property. It's 5 miles up the mountain. Like I said, he's right on the edge of Death Valley, and he has explored all the old original buildings. There was a saloon there. There was a brothel there, which it was a mining village is what it was. It was a mining town. They had a church there. They're turning the church into a theater. They are doing, they're building the hotel so people can come out and stay and experience ghost town living firsthand. He lives there on the property with his alpacas and his kitty cats and his sheeps and everything. Trying to make it a fully functioning town again. So, but all right, guys, it is almost 10 minutes after. I have got a video to put up today. It's already done. I got to put the finishing touches on and upload it. We will be on tonight. I think people are more interested in history now and want to recreate it, partly because the way the world is, it's not great. History is a good way to escape. Well, I think people are finally coming to terms with the fact of what people have said for years. Those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. And we're seeing a replay of how the world was 100 years ago. And I think that's the thing, is people are seeing that and learning that history. So, but all right, guys, I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day. We will be back tonight without all the whining and caterwauling and stuff like that. You guys have a great Monday. Try to have a little bit of fun. We'll catch you tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as usual. But until then, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. We'll catch y'all later.